It's time for America Outdoors Radio. The fast-paced hour of outdoors radio ahead is not only awesome, but unlike those other shows, you can actually sleep in for this one. Better still, we've got a special Pacific Northwest edition for you. You won't find this version of America Outdoors Radio anywhere else, and you'll only hear it here on KRKO AM 1380.
We're starting things off, announcing a big change for this program. We've been airing the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio for over 2 years now on Fox Sports KRKO. We love the relationship we've built here and love the staff at the station, but an opportunity has presented itself, and we're going to take advantage of it. Beginning July 7th, this program will be heard from Everett and Marysville in the North Sound all the way south past Tacoma and Olympia to the outskirts of Centralia, Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. on KJR AM 950. It's a decision we didn't make lightly, but with the departure of the long-running Northwest Wild Country radio show on KJR that aired Saturday mornings, we believe we can bring the outdoors to a whole bunch of longtime outdoors listeners there, and I hope you, our loyal listeners here on KRKO, will join us at least for an hour on Saturday mornings on our new home at KJR 950 before switching the dial back to this fine station. Turning to this week's program, we'll be chatting with Bob Loomis from Mack's Lure Company about a lure you can use to catch kokanee and trout here in Western Washington, and we'll also check in with Garibaldi Charters to see what's happening out in the ocean off the northern Oregon coast near Tillamook. If you want to know what's hot this weekend, we can start off at your local Sportsman's Warehouse store on Everett Mall Way, where they are having a fantastic Father's Day weekend sale. One thing that will be a sure hit is a new Traeger grill, and they've got 2 different models, each one $100 off their regular price. Head down to Sportsman's Warehouse now and get yours, because this deal ends when the store closes on Sunday. The big news this week? Summer crabbing. Marine Areas 4, that's Nia Bay, and 5 at CQ opened up today, and they'll remain open through September 3rd. As for summer prospects in the Sound, WDFW officials say crabbing should be good again this year in several areas. Recreational crabbing is open Thursdays through Mondays and closed Tuesdays and Wednesdays each week. So, no crabbing on the 4th of July. Also, you need to remove your crab gear, because if it's found on closed days, it will be removed for you by state fish and wildlife officers doing emphasis patrols this summer. Here's the rest of the crab season schedule for you. In Marine Areas 6, 8-1, 8-2, Area 9, 10, and 12, it is going to be open June 3rd through September 3rd. The San Juan Islands and Bellingham area, that's going to be July 14th through September 30th. And Marine Area 7 North, the Gulf of Georgia, open August 16th through September 30th. A reminder, Marine Areas 11, that's Tacoma, Vashon Island, and Marine Area 13, the South Sound, they are closed because of low crab numbers. The daily limit where crabbing is open is 5 Dungeness crab, males only, in hard shell condition, measuring 6 1/4 inches across. If you like your red rock crab, you can catch 6 red rock crab of either sex per day, measuring 5 inches or more across the back. As for sport fishing, we don't have time to go in depth, but checking in with NorthwestFishingReports.com, there are 5-star reports from last weekend for walleye on the Columbia near the Dalles, for cutthroat trout on Lake Sammamish, and for crappie at Skagit County's Lake McMurray. So there you go. Now you know what's hot right here in the Pacific Northwest.
And with that, let's head to this week's national edition of America Outdoors Radio.
NorthwestFishingReports.com is the Northwest's largest fishing reports website, featuring well over 50,000 fishing reports, videos, articles, and more. All 100% free. Catch more fish with Northwest Fishing Reports. Log on today.
Are you an outfitter, sporting goods retailer, boat dealer, or someone else in the outdoors industry? If you are, you know targeted advertising works best, and what would work better than advertising with America Outdoors Radio? Our hour-long show is heard throughout Seattle, Everett, and the East Side every Saturday morning, and your message will be heard there too. Want to find out more? Contact me, John Cruz, through my website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com.
It's time for another local shot of the outdoors. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, and you'll only hear it here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
We're taking you down to the Tillamook Coast in northern Oregon, specifically to Garibaldi, where Tamara Moutner joins us from Garibaldi Charters. Tamara, welcome to the show.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me on.
So, Tamara, I know there's been some halibut fishing there off the northern Oregon coast. How's it gone so far this year?
Well, it's been pretty slow. We were off to an okay start, and then it just kind of dwindled down. We just weren't getting very many halibuts. We were getting some black cod out there, which is not as usual, but the halibut's been pretty slow.
Well, go ahead and tell me to look on the bright side. What can I catch if I go out with you?
Yeah, the good news is the rockfish have just been jumping on board. It's been excellent catching with limits of rockfish all around, and lingcod's been kind of hit and miss, but there's been some really great days in the middle. And then the deep drop, the new long leader fishery from the ODFW this year, has been doing absolutely excellent. We've been coming in with our 10-fish limit on those midwater rockfish, and those are some nice big rockfish out there, too.
Nice. So let's talk about the difference between the nearshore rockfish, which is light tackle. I understand the limit's less. And what's the size of these deeper rockfish that you're bringing in?
Well, sometimes we're seeing fish averaging right around 5 pounds and then going up 6, sometimes seeing some 7-pounders out there.
Wow.
We're seeing a lot of yellowtail rockfish, which are really good-eating, white, tasty fish, and also some widow rockfish, sometimes some canaries out there. It's kind of a fun trip, and you really get to fill your freezer fast with that one.
Wow. And again, 10 fish. What do you get nearshore in comparison?
So the nearshore limit is actually 5 rockfish per person, and then you can get up to 2 lingcod. Depending on the day, you may or may not go home with all 7, but the 5 rockfish have been a pretty steady thing for us so far this year.
All right. So, folks, whether you want to stay close to shore, fish for rockfish and lingcod, or go out deeper and get some of those big rockfish, the place to go to start with is GaribaldiCharters.com. They'll take you out. They've been doing it for years. The website again, GaribaldiCharters.com. Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks, John. Have a great day.
There's a whole bunch more of the great outdoors coming your way on Fox Sports 1380.
A seafood bounty is waiting for you on Northwest Oregon's Tillamook Coast. Catch a limit of big salmon, haul up a pot of delicious crab, and dig up a bunch of clams for some hot chowder. Plan your visit today at TillamookCoast.com.
Backcountry hunters and anglers, the men and women working hard to keep public lands in public hands. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
Let's get back to the local outdoors scene. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, heard exclusively here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
It's time for another Mack's Minute.
Fish on!
Brought to you every week by Mack's Lure Company. With us again is Bob Loomis. Bob, I've been thinking about some kokanee and trout lakes that I'd like to fish. Somebody was mentioning Dvorak Reservoir to me the other day. Great kokanee place, bass too, but getting to places where you can catch kokanee and trout. When I think of Oregon, I think of Wallowa Lake, I think of Odell, and you brought up something just a minute ago, Green Peter Reservoir. What about Washington State, especially Western Washington? Besides Lake Stevens, where would you recommend fishing for kokanee this time of year?
Well, you've got, a number of them down in the southwest Washington area where you've got, heading down south from Stevens, you've got American Lake, you've got Rife Lake, you've got Merwin, Yale. Those are some pretty decent fisheries. Yale's got a lot of fish in it, not real large fish, but they've got a lot of fish. Merwin's got some really nice fish in it, and Rife's kind of in between.
So let's talk about a common denominator, a lure that we can use in any of these, Oregon, Washington, and the one Idaho Lake, that's going to catch both kokanee and trout.
Well, the first thing that I would come to mind, especially this time of the year, is going to be the Pee Wee Wiggle Hoochie. Pee Wee Wiggle Hoochie is a small 1.5-inch hoochie set up with our crankbait style bill on it that basically gives you a reactionary type bite, which you really need from mid-season till late season on the kokanee and rainbows.
Heck, looking at that crankbait bill, I bet it'll catch some of those Dvorak smallies too.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, if you want to try something that looks a little bit different, but it'll catch, both species, trout and kokanee, and yes, some of those smallies too. Look for the Pee-wee Wiggle Hoochie in a store near you or online at maxlure.com. That's a wrap for this week. We'll be here next Saturday morning and every Saturday morning through June. And don't forget, July 7th marks our journey to a new station, KJR AM 950, where we will begin broadcasting Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m.
Are you looking for a game changer to help you catch more trout, kokanee, and salmon? No problem. Just tie on Mack's Crip Lure. Cast it or troll it. Either way, its specially designed ring chamber emits a low-frequency vibration with its erratic movement. It will catch more fish and make them strike. Better still, the different colors for the lure can be matched to just about any fishery. Look for the Crip Lure from Mack's Lure Company at a sporting goods store near you or go online at maxlure.com.